what a superbly featured room, and what excellent boiled potatoes. It is many years since I had such an exemplary vegetable. To which of my fair cousins should I compliment the excellence of the cooking? Mr. Collins, we are perfectly capable to keep a cook. Excellent. I am very pleased the estate affords such a living. I am honored to have as my patroness Lady Catherine de Bourgh. You have heard of her, I presume? My small rectory abuts her estate, Rosings Park, and she often condescends to drive by my humble abode in her little phaeton and ponies. Does she have any family? One daughter, the heiress of Rosings and very extensive property. I have often observed to Lady Catherine that her daughter seemed born to be a duchess, for she has the superior graces of elevated rank. These are the kind of little delicate compliments that are always acceptable to ladies, and I conceive myself particularly bound to pay. How happy for you, Mr. Collins, to possess the talent for flattering and delicacy.
The
I'm
face,
finished.
even the facial expression is even just as awkward as that conversation is. How uncomfortable. And, ugh. Could you imagine being at that dinner? What would you guys have done? Like, how you are
I would
now.
just be like,
No, how you are now. Not like old-timey or whatever. How would you have reacted? Like,
I would have been like the dad. I would have been like Donald Sutherland and just been like, yes.
I
Don't bother me.
I would have been like sucking back coffee, like more please, and just like invested in that so that I wouldn't have to actually talk because my mouth is full of coffee.
no, you have to be, I would
Coffee.
be like, I probably would be like Kitty, going,
Oh my gosh.
and being
You
ridiculous in the
would.
corner with the other sister. But anyways, welcome back to yet another episode of Bump That, episode 151. If you don't know who we are, we've got Brian in this corner.
Pride and Prejudice. More like Pride and Beetlejuice. No, I don't know.
More like Pride and Juneteenth.
Hey.
It's
Good
Pride
on you,
Month
mate.
and Juneteenth today. Anyways, we've got KT down below, who
Ugh,
clearly
that
is
was
not with the
worse than
times.
mine. Dang.
Yes. 1,000 times.
Oh, what a bum.
And I'm Miliana, your host, and we're siblings who have a love for all things nerdy, movies, video games, TV shows, all things of that sort, and decided to talk about it here on the internet with all of you people, and here you are listening. So, welcome! We've got quite a show for you guys today, and you know why?
Why?
The freaking Nintendo Direct dropped yesterday! Wow, 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 wow. So, we're going to be talking about that and all the other things. So, what I haven't done is pulled up the show doc.
Oh my lord.
I
I'm
worked
getting
so
So
hard
prepared
on it.
for this
I'm
show.
getting there.
And I
Good
sent it like
Lord.
early
I know.
too.
It's
I sent it like
download-
Monday,
It's
bro.
downloading. Why is it downloading? It's from the
Oh
email.
my
Oh
gosh.
my
Should I be
gosh.
the
Serious,
host today
Wait,
again?
hang on. Everybody, hang on.
You had
I
one
feel
job.
like there's some people right now watching who have not hit the subscribe button.
Oh my gosh.
And do you know what I have to say to those
Son
people?
of a.
Oh my squash.
You're not part of the sibling ship, okay? Speaking of ships, all right? We just got Mario and Luigi brother ship. All right? You need to become part of this brother sibling ship. All right? And you can only do that by hitting the subscribe button and becoming a subscriber, a sibling today. So make sure you do that. And look, perfect. The show doc just popped up. So that just means that someone subscribed. Thank you. Also, hit the like button if you
Hooray.
enjoy this episode. Hit the dislike button if you're finding us, I don't know, However you want to do.
If you have no taste, hit the dislike button.
Sure,
It's not going to hurt my
whatever.
feelings.
And then the other thing, this was we mentioned this on last week's episode. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified when our episodes go out, because sometimes the algorithm's like, these siblings don't need the viewers. They don't need them. So, we're not gonna
These
show
guys
their
are stinkers.
exactly. We're not gonna show their episodes to the
Hey,
siblings.
Takashka, you better wise up, okay? I'm gonna get you for
I'm
this.
so glad Brian
You
knew.
have to catch me first. Hey, Susie, bring that sausage over here.
Brian wasn't there for that
Egg
conversation.
nabbit,
Yeah.
egg nabbit, Takashka, I'm gonna get you for this.
What? I didn't do anything. Anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and jump into the news. First, this one's like, I feel like. Okay, hang on. Sorry, my thoughts are all over the place. Brian, did you make a prediction for how well Inside Out 2 was gonna do?
I thought it would do 100 mil. I thought that's what
Okay.
it was.
All right.
It
well,
surpassed that.
You're
easily.
right on the money then. All right. Inside 2 makes $155 million. All right. $1 million at the weekend box office. A much needed boost to Disney and Pixar in terms of box office appeal and overall support for the studios and theater. All right. Now, I think that's huge because, like you just wrote, they freaking need it. They need a win, basically. They need the win, and this is it.
Everybody needs a win.
Yeah. It is the second biggest opening of all time for an animated film, just behind the $182 million of The Incredibles 2 back in 2018. It's the biggest domestic opening of 2024. So, like we've been saying for, I guess, the past couple years, not even just like recently, but like the past couple years, is Pixar out of the depression? That's a big question. With this movie,
I think this is a step. This is a step in the right direction.
And I'm
They have to
hoping-
take this and realize they have to look what worked.
yeah.
What worked with this one.
Yes.
And not just look monetarily, but listen to the audience. Listen to the
Yes.
critics and the
Right.
reviews.
Now,
It
I'm
won't mean a
hoping that
thing.
This is okay. So, with that being said, we have not seen any hint of Elio in a year. So, I'm hoping that this won't be one step forward, two steps back when Elio debuts. So
I don't think it will be.
now,
Elio!
Brian, you haven't seen Inside Out 2 yet, have you?
I did see it.
Oh, okay, you did see it.
Hooray!
Saw it Saturday.
I unfortunately have not
Yes.
seen it. However, I've seen many reviews already because I wanted to be prepared. I'm not like devastated if something gets spoiled.
You
for
had
me.
one job.
I've got kids. I mean, I'm doing the best I can.
So did I.
Anyways, and my husband hasn't even seen the first one, so I'm trying.
Screw him. Forget him. Leave him at home. That's what we did to wife. She didn't go.
Aww.
Aww.
She was watching Spirit at home. Not
Yeah.
Spirited Away. Anyways, so based off of your guys' experience seeing the film thus, already, what were some of the reasons why the film had a successful opening weekend? Was it based on reviews that you had seen coming out? Based on the fact that it was already a known IP? Like,
I think there are a lot of contributing factors to what made it successful. You have an IP that sold really well the first time,
right.
with memorable characters and likable characters, as well as Riley being 13 now. She's moving up and getting older, just like the
relatability.
Yeah, kids that saw it back in the day. Was it
2015.
when did the first one come out?
Yeah, so it's
Alexa.
almost
It was
10
2015.
years.
When did Inside Out?
It was 2015, gosh darn it.
2015,
Oh my
alright.
gosh.
I
So-
said it.
I'm sorry. So,
Yes.
Alexa, be quiet. So-
Listen to your siblings.
I said it.
I'm sorry, it was
Even
taking
the
y'all a
subscriber
while.
siblings were
So-
saying it too.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yes. So, not to mention the new character Anxiety that pretty much stole the show. Everybody
Played by
now and
awesome Maya
Well, there's a
Hawke.
few.
yeah.
Embarrassment, ennui,
My
envy.
my point is many people nowadays suffer from anxiety or
So that hit
anxiety
home.
symptoms, and so they have this character
Sure.
that all of a sudden they can relate to, and they're curious. How is this going to play out?
Yeah.
And I thought it was
Without
very, very good.
spoiling anything, I saw all over that there was one scene with this anxiety character that was similar to the Puss in Boots movie, The Last Wish,
Yeah.
where like almost a panic attack type of thing.
Mhm.
So I think that's also starting to resonate with a lot of other people as well. That it's being spoken about more and not like one of those like, ooh, hush hush, we don't talk about that, like feelings, you know? Like everybody experiences some sort of anxiety, whatever. However you cope with it, I think is a little bit different, but everybody deals with it. So I think that's pretty cool.
And no spoiler, but the things that anxiety, whether as a character or as a feeling, I suppose, was making Riley do, you're like, wait, no.
Yeah.
And I think you're feeling more for Riley and her decisions, opposed to the character itself. But you're like, Riley, what are you doing?
Was there a good balance of screen time between seeing both characters, like kind of in the first one?
I thought so.
Okay.
What do you think, Brian?
Absolutely. I think the pacing of the film was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Phenomenally.
So that you, even with the new characters that are introduced, you get to know them pretty well. You get the old characters, joy, anger, fear, disgust. They're all back. Sadness. How can I forget sadness? And you get to enjoy more of their character moments. But then there's Riley, who is, you could honestly put in like any 13-year-old girl, and you get really to know that character. And so it was done very well.
So here's my other question real quick. To draw parallels between Turning Red and Inside Out 2. Sorry, I was like, what's this movie called? Who portrayed a 13-year-old girl better?
That's a tough one because they're
Oh
two
my
very
gosh.
different girls.
Okay.
I would say this. Turning Red, now that I think about it compared to Inside Out 2, Turning Red is so shrill that it's almost like nails on a chalkboard how grating and loud and obnoxious that film is. Well, man, Inside Out 2 is like subtle Pixar. They just allow that story to just breathe.
Oh,
And you
Did they use that same?
Yes, but it was slightly altered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They used it in the intro. I think probably the original
It was slightly
during the credits,
altered.
the intro
Yeah.
credits. But it's like, okay, hurry up, God.
But going back
So
to the girls, they're two different girls. You do have the Mei Mei, who is very shrill, like Brian said, very energetic.
Mhm.
She's got her crew, which match her energy.
Mhm.
And then you have Riley that has two girls in her crew, and while they match her energy, it's more subtle. However, they are still bubbly little girls, and that ends up getting them in trouble a little
Okay.
bit. Which is part of the it's kind of cringy, but
yeah,
like,
but
a
I
good
feel like
cringe.
when I think about it, like Turning Red is almost so cartoony. The
Yeah.
characters are just
Over the
so
top.
over the top.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. I love Michael Keaton. And while Inside Out, those characters seem like they're based off of like real girls that you knew in either in
So
high
maybe,
school or
like-
that girls that you know could live down the street of your neighborhood.
So
you know?
maybe Turning Red is more a caricature of what little girls' maybe minds are like.
yeah,
and
that's
then
a good way to put it.
Inside Out 2 is maybe more a realistic version of what it would be like.
Yes. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Cool.
Definitely.
I just thought about that off top, and I'm like, oh, that might be a good question to ask. 'Cause-
Easily a movie I would see in theaters again.
Okay, good.
West.
Here's the thing. I wanted to make sure, like we talked about this. Right now, other than Garfield, which is C-level family entertainment, C-level kids
Yeah.
cartoon, Inside Out 2 is, I mean, obviously it's not cream of the crop Pixar. It's nowhere near that.
Don't worry.
But
Despicable Me 4 is
but
coming out really soon.
But it is so nice to have a prestige quality,
Yeah.
high quality Pixar film that we've come to know and we've always have had. They have such a great track record, and this is finally a film where like you guys are back on the train.
Yeah.
You guys are back on the bus now. Let's stay on this. Let's not deviate because this was good. All it takes is if you tweak this the wrong way, I don't think you were going to have $155 million opening weekend.
We
If
may
you tweak
not
this a
see
certain way
200
to the
years of
left.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you tweak this to the left or if you tweak this to the right, you're going to have something. You could have a $40 million opening weekend, which would be bad.
Oh my gosh.
So
Could you imagine another box office failure like Lightyear again? That would just hurt so bad. Now, I'm really glad that when Elemental came out, sure, it didn't do great at first, but then picked up momentum after. And I'm really glad for that because that was also another step forward. It was kind of like a half step. And now this one's a full step. And then I guess we have Elio coming next after that. Whenever that is, literally there has been no other updates on that movie. So I'm hoping that's another big step forward and not a half step or backwards,
So Brian, what rating would you give it?
Oh, Inside Out 2. I do prefer, I think, the first one. I do, I love the first one, but I'm going to give this one, oh man, it's tough. It's teetering right on like a B+, A-.
Ooh, I would
But
give it
you know what? Because we're so desperate for some quality classic Pixar that we've come to know and love and we want, I'm going to give it an A-. It hits
Yay.
all the right feels.
And
yeah.
a lot of folks that I've spoken to that have seen it, not only were they emotional over the top at the end of the movie, but they say that they like it better than the first one. I
That's
actually
fair.
don't know.
I respect that.
I don't know which category I fall into. I think I'm more of I like the first one better because the parents were there more. This one, they're a footnote in it.
Feel
But
that the first one is a bit more original and
Yeah.
there's a lot more
and
as they're
artistically
going through the
it's-
mind. There's a lot more different kind of interesting things, characters they meet,
like when
Bing
they go into
Bong,
that one
Imagination
building with Bing
Land,
Bong,
you know.
And like, oh no, we're in the third stage.
Yeah.
Dreamland, all that.
They do some similar things here, which we were dying, laughing, rolling. I'm not going to spoil it, but if Disney doesn't market a certain fanny pack, they are missing out because I want that fanny pack.
Was the voice acting on? Was it great?
When I was
good.
listening to it, I was like, something is off. Bill Hader is not Fear anymore.
That's not
and
Bill
Mindy-
Hader, yeah.
Yeah, it's not Bill Hader, and it's
Oh. not
not Mindy Kaling.
Oh,
Mhm.
Which, I
Kinda-
mean,
It kind of threw you off. You knew.
It threw me off. However, they did great jobs anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
But the animation, I do.
Kalen's working on another. What's that? Velma TV show, probably.
Season 3 of Velma.
But I do want to give mad props to. I feel like the Riley animation was good. It was solid.
It was very
Nothing
good.
too
Those
crazy.
subtle things,
It
and
was
I
good.
have to say, they were
But
they were so spot on. I'm gonna spoil one minor thing.
Okay.
When the girls were in the car being driven to camp, and they stopped and they're having a conversation with each other, and one of them makes just a slight bend of the eyebrows where it scrunches here, and then the characters in the mind are like, "Did you see that? See what? No. Let's rewind this back." And they focus in on that slight change, and they're like, "She's hiding something. She knows something." And I'm like, I do that same thing. I picked
saw
up on
your
that
face.
girl. I
Your
saw
face.
that something is
Your
wrong.
wrinkles. You created a wrinkle, and now I'm curious.
Yeah, and then they
Anyways,
switched over. They switched over to another girl, and they're like, "She knows that she knows something." Great.
That's funny.
But the animation when they're inside the mine, especially with the characters, whenever they get close up on them,
They like.
I love.
They're like fuzzy.
They
weren't as
they're fuzzy and they glow.
Yeah.
No, when they do the close ups to them,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much detail in this. I mean, I don't know if they just build a program that's like make them fuzzy, make them glow,
It's
make
almost like
they're
kind
figments of your
see-through,
of.
but not fully
I know,
see-through.
and
It's
it's
like a little bit particle-y, like I don't know. They're
Translucent.
fuzzy.
particles. I like that. Yeah,
They're
that's
particly.
no, it's neat. It's really neat. I like it. They're doing good work over there. It's like
Keep
thank
it
you,
up.
Lord.
Please
I don't-
my
fail
theater-
us.
I don't know if I could have handled a bad one. I just don't think I would have.
I think my theater.
I don't think anybody could've.
the projectors at my theater. I don't know if they're getting old or what.
Yeah,
Um,
they are, dude. That theater is ancient. All right.
And it makes me sad because it used to be so good.
Yeah. So did Movies 400. All of the Movies 400, and they
Dang.
became doo doo, mega doo doo. But anyways, that's gonna end the Inside Out conversation. If you haven't seen it like me, let's go watch it this weekend. Join me. All right, get a
Are you actually
popcorn.
going?
Get a popcorn. I have a busy weekend, but we'll see. But get a popcorn and a sody and go watch Inside Out 2, okay? Tell Pixar,
I got the Inside Out bucket and cup.
tell Pixar this was the one. Good Pixar. Keep it up. You know, no backtracking. This one. Yes.
No
stay
politics,
here. Don't look away.
please.
Stay here. Okay? So, make sure they're getting their money's worth. Anyways, let's move on. Sorry, my nose is like, there's like a bug or something right there. Anyways, moving on in our news, Marvel's reboot of Blade meets another obstacle as their second director quits. Yikes, what's going on over there? Who knows about this?
No, this movie's cursed. It's cursed, man.
What is Blade?
Blade
Blade's
is a vampire.
the vampire. Yeah, it's a African American vampire guy who can.
Almost like
Yeah,
Neo.
come on, man.
But vampire.
Is that like on anybody's radar? Like, is that something what anybody wants?
Well, back in the day,
A
it was with Wesley
vampire?
Snipes. It was with Wesley Snipes, and he had a sword, and he would fight vampires. Kind of like Underworld. Do you guys remember Underworld? It's kind of like
Yes.
that. And then there was a trilogy, and one of them had Ryan Reynolds in it, which is funny. But the new one is supposed to have Mahershala Ali. It's
Okay.
it's part of the new phase of Marvel, but
Let
they
it
just can't get this
die.
thing off the ground.
You know what? I saw this written, or or said perfectly. It was by some dork at a Comic-Con or whatever, and I was like, this dork knows what he's talking about. Y'all, this guy, yes. He said that the Marvel Universe ended with Endgame, and the rest is filler. And it's like, that
I think I saw the same. I must have saw the same thing.
You saw
Yeah,
that
everything
nerdy guy, and
everything
he
is
was like-
epilogue.
Yeah, everything's
he was wearing like a
epilogue.
funny suit.
Yes!
Yeah, everything is epilogue.
I was like, yeah, my man, exactly what you just said. Like, sure, he said, Guardians was good and Spider-Man was good. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. But it ended with Endgame. Like, that was the end of the story. And the rest of it is just kind of like a whatever thing.
They keep hyping up like Thunderbolts, and then Julia Louis-Dreyfus, her character that's been popping up in all these other Marvel films, and like, oh, just get ready, it's all gonna pay off, and then we're gonna have the new Captain America,
You just wait,
and
guys,
it's a
you
black
just
guy,
wait.
it's all good.
It's like,
Yeah,
no,
you
I
know,
don't
and-
want. We're done with it, dude. You should have let it die. You're the ones responsible for killing Chris Hemsworth's a career right now. Like, y'all are the ones responsible for that because he is a phenomenal actor. However, you guys keep using him in these silly roles in Marvel movies, and I feel like he could have been doing so much better. I'm glad that he was just in Furiosa, and he played another goofy character, but he still did a great job.
Whoa, you said Chris Evans.
Oh,
You said
did
Chris
I?
Evans, man.
Chris Hemsworth, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, but like, think about the other Marvel Universe characters and the movies that they're making right now. Zoe Saldana, she can be here, there, and everywhere. Same with Chris Pratt. He's here, there, and everywhere, okay? They're gonna be always making money, and they're always gonna be perfect at their job, pretty much. You had Robert Downey Jr., who was just in Oppenheimer last year, winning a supporting role at the Academy. So, I mean, the other guys are doing stuff. And then you've got poor Chris. Like, Chris, Marvel killed you, dude. And I'm hoping that other movies can help revive your character. Tom Holland has not been appearing in as many things recently, but he's still doing side projects and whatever, but he's still a like big high name. So all that to say is that let Marvel die. Let it die. Let it end. And be done.
Ugh.
That's all I got
The
to say.
money.
Put
There's
the
so much money.
The money. All right. Well, hopefully they can get a third director for this Blade movie if even they don't. See, that's the funny thing. DC will be so quick to just like scrap a movie completely after like filming and everything. And Marvel's like, no, we're going to save it, guys. We're going to save it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just think that's interesting. All right, so like I said at the very beginning of this, we did get a Nintendo Direct yesterday, and it was actually an A+ Direct. All right, so Katie, you're the dork on this one. Let's go.
All right.
Wait,
so
but Katie said that she's got slapped in the mouth though.
I
part of
did.
the
Yeah,
Direct.
because of Donkey Kong.
Would you like to know why? I told Brian before we started recording.
Share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Share for the
Here's why.
siblings.
Share.
The last 3 Donkey Kong games to come out have all been remakes. We've had Tropical Freeze, Mario and Donkey Kong, which I think was a GBA game or something like that. And now we have Donkey Kong Returns, which I don't hate that. I don't. I'm going to get it because I love Donkey Kong and I need to support this franchise that I like. I love. The problem that I have is we haven't had an original Donkey Kong game in 10 years. The last one to come out was Tropical Freeze in 2014 for the Wii U. Nothing original has come out for the Switch. We've had an entire console generation
Yeah.
come by with thousands of games. Great games. I have too many that I don't have.
You don't even have Pikmin
Okay.
4 yet.
I know.
girl.
I don't have Pikmin 4. I don't
Girl.
have Mario RPG.
Eh.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. But anyway, so all you goofy people that are like, oh, well, we were waiting on Pikmin, or we were waiting on Metroid, especially all you Metroid fans.
Meanwhile,
wanna
Katie's
hear
been
it.
over there with her hands on the window looking like...
Yeah. Yes, and it's raining. You Metroid fans are eating good, and I don't want to hear it because you've gotten Metroid Dread
Yep.
as well as Metroid Prime Trilogy.
Finally, that was the end
No,
of the direct.
not
Hang
even
on,
Metroid. Not wait.
Hang on.
We're
I want to
getting
announce
there.
what they got. If you were not there for the direct, you guys just got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. All right, and you got gameplay.
Dang.
You didn't just get a title. You got gameplay. So kudos to you guys. Finally, you did it. It's here. It was 7 years since the title dropped, and it's there. So now your grievances, Katie.
So you have that, which I'm happy for you. I genuinely am.
But then there's just Katie again.
Yeah. You also have coming to Nintendo Online. You have another Metroid game coming into Nintendo Online. Meanwhile, you have I know if you're ever around me, then you're gonna be like, oh, this again. I know. Shut up. I'm right. You have this year being the 30th anniversary of Donkey Kong Country, and nobody's doing anything. Nobody. Nothing. Nothing
No.
is being said about this.
You don't get it.
Because even though it's owned by Rare, which is now owned by Microsoft, don't give me that. Microsoft and Nintendo are buddy buddies. We just got Stray. Stray was announced for the direct that is coming to Nintendo Switch. That's an Xbox only game. You can only get that for Xbox. But now you can play it on your Nintendo Switch. So what is keeping Rare from celebrating this iconic game? Ugh, I could just go on about it, but that's why it's a slap in the mouth.
Yeah.
Just makes me mad. I'm gonna and I'm gonna pay again for a game that I already own on my Wii. I have it on my Wii.
Hey,
So
and what cracks me up again is moving on from your grievances. Okay, we understand you want the Donkey Kong. What you basically just said is we already own it, and now we're getting another one. Mario Party is getting its third installment on the freaking Switch. Katie's out there begging for a Donkey Kong, and they're getting their third installment.
of
So-
Mario freaking Party. And
I
you know
just
what
think
makes me
that's
sick
so
about
funny.
that?
What?
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I know. That's the funniest
It makes
part.
me so sick. They're smart. They know. They know us.
Yeah.
Now, again, just spitballing. I'm gonna say this really fast. A lot of the big ones to come out that were announced: Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom featuring
I'm
Zelda.
getting it. It looks awesome.
Oh yeah, that's a day one buy. That's coming out September 26th. The first thing to be mentioned in the direct, which I thought was so adorable, and I love the art style, Mario and Luigi Brothership RPG adventure. That's coming out in November. That looks so good. I don't know if I'll get it. I do like presents, darling. Someone want to give me a present.
Wait, which one was that one again?
Brothership.
Oh, absolutely. It comes out.
It looks really good.
September 26th.
No. It comes out in November.
Oh, November. There's one that comes.
I
that the
just
Zelda one
said
that
it.
comes out?
Echoes of Wisdom is coming out
That
September
comes out
26th.
September.
And that's just right after my birthday. That's 10 days after
How
my
is Nintendo still milking everything for this Switch console? And I'm like, take it! Take my freaking money! Ah!
And, you know, I've never played a Dragon Quest game, but for the sole reason that these games are in HD 2D, which
It looks
I'm
great.
one of the...
It looks like an
Ooh,
Octopath Traveler game.
Yeah, it makes me foam at the mouth. Like, I don't know why.
Girl,
It's so
you're on camera right now.
You have
Neo,
Dragon Quest.
I know this one is like a kind of indie game-ish looking thing, but Mio actually does look really good. Sorry.
It did look good.
It looks good.
Yes. And of course,
You Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Oh,
that's coming out
who was
next
that?
year.
That's some character. Is that from Cow and Chicken?
Oh, yeah. That's the cow.
That sounds like the cow from Cow and Chicken.
Next, we have Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Now do it in the guy from Hey Arnold's voice.
And then next we have Ace Attorney. It's coming back. There's a collection. Relive all of your great investigations. Catch that bad guy.
Next, read it in Owen Wilson's voice.
Well, then you have. Well, I'm not very good at him.
No, that's a Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, that was. That was.
I'm not
nothing.
good at it. Last one that I'll mention is Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection,
Yeah.
which is really good. That
And a
looks
lot
really
of things are getting free updates, which I love. Like not Wii Sports. Switch Sports is getting basketball added. Free update, which, I mean,
good. Just keep smacking me on the mouth.
why bother, but whatever, sure.
Keep
Um,
hitting me.
Disney, Mickey's, whatever.
Illusion Island.
Illusion Island, they're getting a free update. Something else is getting a free update. So, there was a lot of good things in this direct that I think we were kind of hungry for. Like, sure, we got a bunch of good games last summer, but we're kind of like, all right, we played those and we beat them.
Here's one for Brian. I forgot to tell you. Perfect Dark
Oh,
is
yeah, I thought
coming
of him.
to the 64 online.
Yeah. So, Perfect Dark.
Don't look at me like
I thought you
that.
liked Perfect Dark, Brian.
You played the
That game was
heck
awesome.
out of Perfect Dark.
I was never able to beat it. Like, it was just there was like this stupid way to the last level. It was a pain in the neck.
Well, now's your chance to retry it.
Even now,
No,
Katie,
I'm
this
good.
is something that needs to be said. You made a big deal about this when the direct was going on, that exclusives are coming to the Switch. Now, what does that mean for the other companies?
It means they suck, but one game
elaborate.
one game that we left out was the Horizons game, the Lego Horizons.
Lego Horizons and Stray.
Yeah. So you have Stray from Microsoft and Horizon Zero Dawn from PlayStation. Ooh, they're getting desperate. And you know who's winning that game console? That's been going on for 30 years? It ain't Sega. It ain't PlayStation.
Mm-mm.
It sure ain't no Xbox.
Mm-mm. Look at Brian's face.
Who did I
I don't
say?
even know what she's talking about, but
We're just
That-
saying, that the other companies are getting desperate, that they're starting to release their exclusives on the Switch.
So they can make some money off of it.
Yeah.
Because they have none.
Because
Because they
they're
bought
not
all these
producing games
companies
for their own
and did
freaking
diddly
consoles.
squat. They did diddly squat with these companies.
It's like they can create such buggy games like Cyberpunk 2077, whatever the heck. Oh my.
That did improve a little bit.
Yeah, but they released
But
it
it released
buggy
it.
as heck. They released oh my gosh, what's that game now that you Death Stranding. They released Death Stranding, which was basically just a horrible mail delivery game. All right? It did well, people bought it, whatever. But there's still
Sea of Thieves
yeah.
did the same thing.
that
and
game
they're-
took like 15 years to make.
Yeah, so
And
did
so-
Cyberpunk 2077.
Right. It took forever. And then it's like I don't understand. They're releasing buggy games that have taken them years to develop. Where Nintendo's like, hey, sit down. Nope, not doing good. I'm gonna release more Mario. That we released another Mario 2 years ago. And here's another Mario. They just pop them out like this, and they're wonderful. They're perfect. They're simple. They're easy, and we're eating it up. It's like they're missing their opportunity.
But to that, I mean, a lot of those games, once they're good, they have massive replayability. For example, I'm playing again Fallout 4 again because it's a game that I've
Okay,
played
but what year did that game come out?
400 hours of already, but it's like, you know what? I haven't played it in a while. I'm gonna go back to it.
400
and
hours.
This is way much better than any
It sounds
Switch
like me and Fire Emblem.
game.
Sounds like me and Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
But Brian, Nintendo games have the exact same replayability. And we've replayed them so many times over the years. However,
but you and I both know that Nintendo games are
they're not the cream of the crop.
Family games. They're kid games.
But they're not. I will die on this hill. It's not just family games.
I disagree with you saying that
they're
kid
not
games. They're
just family games
for sure, but they're not kid
okay,
games.
then they're gimmicky games.
No,
they're
they
not.
are not.
They're not tier 1 games.
But
what are you talking about?
Are they your what is that, God of War Ragnaroks, those top tier 1 level games,
Okay, God of War Ragnarok, that has been a slog. I am a God of War fangirl, and I can't bring myself to pick it up because it's so lame. It is so boring.
Now, okay, you're missing the point, though.
But no, I get it.
No,
I get what he's saying.
Both of you are missing the point. Is that Nintendo is able to keep their audience and keep games and keep money coming in. At the end of the day, they're a business. Whether we're enjoying the game or not is kind of on the fence. It's if they're making money, which they're doing that. They're making so much money off of us for buying their games that are good. They're good games. Are they always great? No. They
don't have to be
good. Sometimes they're just mediocre and you live with it, whatever. But they're still making money. As opposed to the other companies that are making sometimes mediocre bad games and then waiting another 15 years to release another mediocre bad game that's maybe sometimes good with another patch in it or something. So that's the difference. They're not making money where they could be if they just made a little bit more simple games, but gave us a little more surplus. What is that? More inventory, something to grasp onto while we wait for the other big game.
Right. For example, while we're waiting for the next Tears of the Kingdom.
GTA.
Yeah,
well,
while we're waiting for GTA, release a Crash Bandicoot. I don't even know if those are the same.
Or no, release a GTA spin-off. A smaller GTA spin-off that keeps it in your mind.
And Nintendo does that all the time.
Exactly,
so
that's my
while
point.
While
Prime
Metroid Prime 4 was in, it had to be
development
production again. They had to take it off and they had to start from scratch all over again. They were like, you know what? Our fans, they want to hear from us. They want a Metroid game. Here's Dread. They're putting some snacks while they're making the meal. They're like,
and we're the fishes going.
Hey, I'm working over here. I'm doing stuff, but here's a little snack for you to keep you munching while I'm cooking. And so that's why Xbox and PlayStation, everybody's collecting dust on them because there's nothing to play on them. They're not wagging anything while they're making the big meal. And they need to do something like that.
And you know what else? They don't have those colorful IP characters. For heaven's sake, where is Sackboy? Where's Little Big Planet?
No, I don't think they need that.
They do.
I don't think so.
Look at the formula. Look at the formula that Nintendo has.
Now, Nintendo is a colorful, family-friendly one. And not everybody likes that sort of thing. And that's fine. That's not for everybody. All right? Now, you can have still notable IP characters. You've got Spider-Man. You've got, Aloy. You've got, oh my gosh. Ragnarok's character. God of War. What's his name?
Kratos.
You've got Kratos. Okay? So you've got characters that are well-known and whatever. You have the character from Sekiro. They all, from, even Elden Ring, whatever. All these big characters that are memorable
Greg?
to... What? Greg? but memorable to the
Yeah, Greg from Elden
players.
Ring.
I don't know. I don't play those consoles. It's not my cup of tea. And sometimes Nintendo's not other people's cup of tea. I understand that. They're different players. These are more mature games. That's cool. But they need to keep riding the coats of those characters. Keep pushing out more content on those characters because that's what people like from those consoles. But they're letting them die. It's sad.
And one final thing. Nintendo is so protective of their IPs that they are playing a Monopoly game. They are being very, very strategic in how they move their pieces around the board, what they allow people to borrow and use. And I think these other companies need to take note of that, especially Xbox. They don't have what they have Master Chief.
Yeah.
That's it that I can think of. Correct me if I'm wrong, or put it in the comments. Who else for Xbox?
When other consoles match up with another company, the one I can think of the best is, using what you've got and making the best of it. Is taking a Mario character and matching it with the Rabbids character and making this awesome video game with Nintendo and Ubisoft. Like, they made such a good game. And so, even collaborate. Xbox and PlayStation, if you're really struggling that bad, Xbox, meet up with another whatever computer.
And quit putting your characters on Fortnite. That's not helping your brand.
But anyways,
that is not helping your brand.
Let's get off that tangent, but all that to say, the direct was awesome. We are getting games. They're still at it. Like, this Switch era is still going, and I'm
gonna say this today, my last sentence on this topic.
Okay.
If when Nintendo comes out with their next console, whatever that looks like, and Donkey Kong is not the highlight, if it is not a 3D open world Donkey Kong game, I don't want it.
Oh my gosh.
That's of course a lie.
It'll be instead of Tropical Freeze, it will be Donkey Kong Dumpster Fire. Yeah.
No.
That's the
Dumpsters took his bananas.
No, not the trash compactors. Those dang garbage.
They're not even
cans.
eating them. They're just throwing them away.
No.
So wasteful.
Dang it! Go get them. So anyways, let's move on. All right, more news. What is this? Totally Spies live action series in the work with Will Ferrell producing. What?
I didn't know he was such a fan.
Of Totally Spies? Sam, Alex, and what was the other one's name?
Sam, Alex, and
Was it Piper's?
Or was it Leslie?
Stella?
Alexa, who are the three characters on Totally Spies?
And then their
Was it
agent
Marie?
was Jerry. His name was Jerry. No.
Wait, no.
Sam, Totally
Was it Grace?
Spies.
No.
Totally Spies. Sam, Alex, and
Holly.
Clover.
That was
Sam,
it.
Alex, and
Clover.
And
Clover.
yeah, their agent was Jerry. So love that they're bringing this back because it's still so iconic to this day. Love it. Anyways, the anime series received its 7th season in the native. Oh, I didn't know it was native to France. Interesting. After nearly an 11-year break. What?
Now, is it gonna get the
Things
live
move
action
slowly in
Powerpuff Girl
France.
treatment?
Oh, please. I'm so glad that died. I'm so glad that never aired. It just
Oh
died.
man,
They killed it. That would have ended up on a Bump That trash episode. Been like, all right, let's take it apart. Let's.
Speaking of trash episode, I went out to trivia tonight, and I was talking with some friends, and one of them brought up. They're like, "Yeah, have you seen the Netflix adaptation of Avatar?" And I'm like, Clearly,
Honey,
you're
we
not
talked about it for 8
subscribed.
weeks. We talked about it. Honey, if you're listening, girl, where you been?
Well, did
she's
you
new to
tell
the
her?
crew. She's new.
Actually, I have this podcast. It's called Bump That. It stars
Yeah, I need to send
my
it to her.
handsome brother Brian, and he has all the best takes, and he's always the one that's honestly right all the time.
With your hair looked like that, you look like that guy from The Boys.
Oh, Bill, the butcher.
Well,
Is
I
that-
don't
is
watch that
his name?
show. So.
Ooh, the guy that's in Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
with the flared nostrils.
Yeah.
Let's flare your nostrils a little. Just do it. Just a little.
Man, okay, so I'm gonna.
Not like that. That's
No,
not
I can't flare. I can't flare my nostrils
All right.
on command.
I'm gonna end the new segment and bring us into the chunk. So we're in the chunk zone now.
Chunky.
So I was watching Lord of the Rings the other day, and I still cry every time at the end of Return of the King, like a baby. Those tears when Sam and Frodo are like, "Do you remember the taste of old whatever?" And I'm like,
of old berries.
yeah, I don't know, of
No,
strawberries.
strawberries
You cry
what
at
you
that
mean.
part?
Strawberries and cream.
You cry at that part?
And then the taste
kind of a
of
weird part to
water,
cry.
and then he's like, "I'm seeing the darkness before my eyes."
I'm naked in the dark. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I cry when I'm naked too.
And then Sam is just looking at him, and he's like, does this little thing. "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." I'm like, I'm still bawling. And then when at the very end they're saying goodbye to Sam or to Frodo and Bilbo, I'm like,
That's
You
the
know?
part. That's the part where you're like devastated. Why are you doing this to me?
I cry like a baby. So that would bring us into our chunk segment. All right, now we've been on Pixar recently, but let's give Pixar some. We need to fluff them up a little bit. All right, remember that we are fans of them, even though we crap on them so much. We are still fans. Now we're gonna be going into the best tear-jerking, poignant moments in Pixar films. Each of us will pick only 3. All right. Now, there's plenty of them. I'm sure people have cried in almost every movie. Maybe. All
There's
right.
28 total Pixar films.
Yeah, I'm sure
choose
you've
from.
cried at
28.
least a few. Are we allowed to double up?
Sure,
I'd say
I didn't.
no.
Okay.
There's 28 films to choose.
Well, yeah. So wait, if I pick one, say for example, if I said Toy Story 2, you can't do one from Toy Story 2.
Okay.
All right, that's how it's
fair,
got to be
that's
done. All right, and we'll go from youngest to oldest.
fair. Okay.
Me in the middle again.
So,
No matter what.
I'm going to start off with one that I think means the most to me, that I don't think you guys would choose, but specifically little Ileana in the theater, and you guys would be like, "Oh yeah, there she goes crying."
I know which one.
I know
Monsters
which
Inc.
one too.
It is
God.
Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
I knew it would be that.
So when Kitty, I'm gonna start crying now.
That's your pet name for him.
When Sully is saying goodbye to Boo, and Boo doesn't really quite understand, it's like, ooh. And then when Mike comes back after all this time, and they're, goofing and gaffing, and they're having a great time, and he's like, I put the door back together, and there's a lot of pieces of wood in the shredder. And then Sully goes through the door, and she says, "Kitty." Just
This
rip
kid,
my heart out.
I have to remind everybody, this kid at the age of like 5 or 6 was sobbing like a maniac in a movie theater. Luckily, the theater was not very full, but I mean, this kid was like, and my mom and dad were like, "Why? What's wrong? What happened?" And it was pathetic.
I'm actually teary-eyed now thinking about it because it's such like a moment to me. I love that scene, but I can imagine me just like guppy-eyed sobbing in the theater to that scene, because to this day I'm still like They loved each other.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Katie, you're next.
All right. This one, let's see. I'm going to go in order of debut. Order of debut. I'm going to give it up to Toy Story 3.
Okay.
When the end
Nice.
of Toy
Dang.
Story 3,
That's good.
when what gets me first is not the fact that they're saying goodbye. It's that Andy has one more play with all the toys. And I love toys. Look at this.
Yeah.
This isn't even all my toys.
Play with us. Play
She
with
does.
us.
The thing
I-
is, she does.
I love toys. Now as an adult, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna play with my toys. But just going back to that moment of imagination and also showing a little girl that you can have that imagination and it's not weird.
Yeah.
And sharing it with her, sharing that emotion and the adventures that he had with his toys when he was a kid, and he's giving it to her so that she can have those adventures as well and just have fun and find joy in that. And then you get to the part where Woody, if they didn't put this in there, it wouldn't mean as much, but Woody does this
Yeah.
and you're like,
No, I like when he hesitates to
That
give.
betrayals partner.
yeah.
When he
Yeah.
hesitates to give Woody away to Bonnie, and she's like,
Mhm.
and he's like, you know, that's like, he still wants to keep him. You know, he still feels this attachment.
Dude, Andy was gonna take Woody to college, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, people would be like, yo, what's this? What's this, newbie, freshman?
Nothing.
Oh, this is my
Nothing.
toy cowboy doll.
that I've had all my life.
Okay, let's keep this in your sock drawer where nobody can see.
Oh
No
my
way! This is Woody! He's my Woody!
Oh, Woody's Roundup.
Woody's Roundup. You guys remember that one? Now it's time to play. Come on, everybody, remember?
And then he
Alright,
drives
freshman's
away.
buying booze.
Yodelay. Hee-hoo.
So he drives away, and the toys are just looking back at him, and Woody says, "So long, partner."
Oh, brings a tear
Oh
to
my
your eye.
gosh.
We
That
are
is funny.
Pixar fans.
It should have ended there, and yet we are looking forward
No,
to Toy
no.
Story 5.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That could be a
Everything's
conversation
fine.
for another day.
Everything's fine.
All right, Brian.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, this is spoilers. We're spoiling everything. So if you haven't seen any of these movies, where have you been? Get your Disney Plus account and watch it.
Yeah, and hit the
Or-
subscribe button so you can come back and revisit this episode.
Or you could be like some members of my family that like to borrow people's, Disney Plus account.
When it's so
Not naming
freely
any
given,
names.
is it really stealing or something?
Anyways, this is actually really difficult because I was looking at the list and I was like, oh, if they take some of mine, I'm gonna be upset. But I guarantee nobody's gonna take this one because everybody knows this is one of my favorite Pixar films. It's so underrated, but I'm gonna go with Brave.
Oh,
And,
good.
The
I
part
have Brave
glad.
on there. Dang it.
Yes, good. All right. The part that wrecks me, dude, is when the mom, Merida's mom, is it
Eleanor.
Queen, what's her name?
Eleanor.
Queen Eleanor.
Eleanor.
No! Eleanor! when Eleanor, Queen Eleanor saves her daughter Merida, from Mordina, in the big fight and everything. But then her brain she's slowly turning full bear. She's losing the human part of her transformation, and the daughter is just pleading with her, and she's just apologizing and all these things that they've wanted to say, that they do love each other, and all the anger that they've had and everything. It's all that matters is that they're there together and they love each other and all that, and it just all comes out, and the girl's hugging the used to be bear, and it's one of those things. It's like, Pixar, this is what you have to do. This is
Yeah.
what people want.
Yeah.
At the end, there's a lesson learned that family is the best, and it's the relationship between a mother and daughter. Good God, man, that's what people want. That's
Good
that's
God,
good
man!
storytelling. Good God, man, that's what we want. Give it to me. Give it to me now.
That was one
So,
of mine that
anyways,
I had there too.
that part is just devastating wrecked. I've seen Brave. It's so underrated. I think
And
it's
you know
a
it,
wonderful
it's such
film.
a trashed on movie. They're like, oh, it's not one of the good Disney or not one of the good Pixar films. I'm like, but it is though. It is.
It
Even the
really
scene
is.
where Merida and Eleanor are fighting in the bedroom, and that she
You don't know what you've done.
She throws her bow into the fire, and you watch Merida go, ah, ah, and she runs
Yeah.
out and crying. I'm like, oh,
What have I done?
that
Yeah,
hurts.
Eleanor says that. She says, "What have I done?" And I'm like,
yeah. Oh, even that will make you tear jerk. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good pick.
so Brave, man. We gotta get Brave on here. It is such a
Yes,
great movie.
it is.
Love it to death.
I think I've appreciated it more as I've gotten older as well. So if you are one of those people that was like, a Brave's not that good, rewatch it now. But after this episode, after you're done watching this, Anyway. Oh, it's my turn again.
"Yes."
Okay. This one, I think everybody is gonna be like, yup, everybody cried in the theater. Everybody cried. All right? And it's Up, Ellie's passing away.
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness gracious. Did that one just hurt so bad? Because you're thinking, this is going to be an adventure story. I'm going into this so great. They've grown up together.
No one saw it coming.
Nobody, because you're like, you watch them as little kids and then they get, older.
Oh
and
man, I'm getting the feels right now just thinking about it. Oh my God.
I know. It's incredible how.
But I just thought about the music. The music
Yes.
though too.
And they
Michael Giacchino is a genius.
They do that to you. They do that. Pixar knows what they're doing, and they do that crap to you, where they add the little. Dun, 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 and you're like, I'm already sobbing, and it's only 5 minutes into the movie. What more is there? How can you hurt me more than you have already done? So that scene right there, gosh, you watch their whole relationship basically, and there's a tearjerker before the tearjerker really happens, where you find out Ellie cannot have children, and you watch them both,
Yeah.
mourn together, and it's like, I'm a child watching such an adult feeling, but I understand it. And I think almost everybody understood that pain that she was feeling in that moment, and what Carl was feeling for his wife. And you see them slowly build back up into the happy times again. And then it just comes crashing down again with her trying to get up that hill. And you're like, don't do it. Don't
In
do
the
it.
back, instead of the, it goes, "Running down the road."
Yeah.
running down the hill."
So it's just, that's a great scene. And Pixar, you did that. You can do it again.
Dang.
All right, Katie.
My turn. Okay. This is gonna be controversial.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to have to go with Cars 2. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What?
I'm totally kidding.
Oh, my gosh. I was like,
Brian and I
Kidding.
were flabbergasted.
I
Kidding.
was about to be like, how dare you make a mockery of this?
Oh my gosh. I think everybody's mouth went,
I'm flipping through the Wikipedia page of all these films. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? There's so many other good ones. Where's this one now?
it's so true.
No, this one makes me cry every time. There is not
That
a
is the task at hand, is to
There
make
is
you
not
cry.
one singular event when I was watching this movie and the ending did not make me sob like a baby. It's Coco.
Yes.
And I know,
Oh.
and I know
I
that's
knew that was
not
gonna be you.
everybody.
I knew Coco was yours. I knew it. I
Yeah.
knew Coco was gonna be your top
The
three.
song, the
I
singing.
knew.
well, it's. Oh, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
I know. I told you this is really hard. Keep
Okay.
those tears in, dude. I let them out for
God.
the boo
Okay,
scene.
so here's why. Here's how. So first, before oh my gosh, my brain just stopped.
Mama Coco,
Before who?
Mama Imelda,
No, before
Miguel,
Miguel. Hallelujah. Amen.
and Hector.
Before Miguel crosses back over to
Michael?
the physical world, he's pleading for Papa Hector to make it. Like, no, please don't send me back. Please, we'll save you. We'll make this work. And he's like, no, you've got to go, Miguel. And you're just like, oh my gosh, the way that the little kid is just like so terrorized by this. He is upset. He is freaking out. And then he wakes up in the mausoleum or whatever it is. And he runs back to his home and he is panicking. And he is just looking for his great grandmother so that she can remember her father.
Ugh.
And he is desperate, just the desperation in his
To
voice.
save Hector.
And he's even locked his whole family out of the house. And they have to break into the house because he is that desperate to save his great-grandfather. Great-great-grandfather. And the only way that he can do it is by singing this song. And it just pronounces the power of music, which it is a science thing that it helps with your memory. And so when his great grandmother Coco starts singing along, you're just like, she hasn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So and then she's like, Elena, what's wrong? And she's like, nothing, Mama. Nothing at all. And like just the love that is pouring out of this family.
Dang, it's making me.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
And
What the heck, man?
and then you're gobsmacked again when some time has passed, a year later, and oh my god, and and Coco
Where's the
has passed
tissues?
away, and Coco has passed away, and so now Miguel is explaining his family, which he thought that the table thing was really dumb, and now he's like, no, this is important. And you need
Yeah.
to know. You need to know our family's
ofrenda.
history to his little sister. And you're just like, woo! And now the whole family's in on this musical. Oh Lord! Woo! That gets me every time.
Yeah,
Woo!
it is.
Hallelujah.
I'm sorry, I got a little teary-eyed with that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian. Make us cry.
This is tough. I don't know if I can make you cry because, all right, so I'm looking at the list. If you look at early Toy Story, so much of it maybe wasn't about like tear jerking. It was just more about like good, solid adventures, you know?
Yeah.
Then you have the middle tier stuff, kind of the prestige era, which is like the Ratatouille, the Wallies, the Ups, Toy
Mhm.
Story 3.
Yeah.
Then you kind of had like the sequels that came out and all that. And then after about Toy Story 4, that's when you get to like the dark period, when it's the Soul, Luca turning red, Lightyear, Elemental. So there's like two that I have to choose from for right now, and they're really hard because there's so many good ones. But I'm gonna have to go with, let's give it out to no, I had to do it. I'm gonna go because I love it so much. I will go with Toy Story 4
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I cried
because Toy Story, the original Toy Story, came out in 1995.
4.
Five.
No,
Four.
5.
1995,
Five.
Dang it,
November.
I'm lost.
I'm
Yeah.
always right.
November 22nd, 1995. So, and I saw that movie 7 times in the theaters. It was
That's
just, it's been a
insane,
huge part of my
Brian.
life. Dollar theater, brah. Anyways, so to go through, you feel that you're friends with Woody and Buzz and the whole gang,
gang.
and everything, the whole gang, and then when Woody reunites with Bo Peep, and it's just the hardest
witch.
choice
That
to
witch.
say. No, she's so
She
nice.
was not
the,
a witch.
the hardest
I know,
thing is
I'm joking because it's like you broke up the brothership.
they're there at the carnival, and it's like he has to make that choice, and you know that it's ripping him apart,
Yeah.
but he has to follow his heart, and his heart has always been with Bo Peep. For once, Woody has always been like thinking about Andy and the other kids that he loves so much, and his duty, but for once he has to make that very difficult decision, but in the end it's going to be worth it because he's going to be with Bo, who he loves so much and who loves him back.
Mm-hmm.
But when Woody has to almost grow up, it's like we all grew up, he has to say goodbye to his best friend Buzz. Dude,
Yeah. I cried during
not a
that
dry
scene.
eye in the audience, man. Not a dry eye. It's tough. It's you've put away the childish things, and now you're on to becoming an adult and doing adult things, and so
Like
that's
buying your
that's
own
a,
toys.
it's a really it is rough. So I'm gonna go Toy Story 4.
Okay.
Honestly, all the Toy Story films had at least one moment in each of them where you're like,
Yeah.
but Toy Story 4, yep.
That's a good one. It really is. They're all good. All right, sister. I have to know if your last one is Inside Out or not.
It is not. It was going to be, but
You found
I'm
something
looking at a
else?
certain poster in front of me, and
I was looking at Inside Out too. That was the tricky one
Yeah.
for me.
I can't deny this one.
Okay. So I'm going to give my honorable mention to Onward. And this one is because of that one right there, the sister of mine, being my Barley, and I'm Ian. So watching their relationship, I was like, crap! It's my sister-in-law!
It's literally us
It's
because
actually-
I'm the D&D dork. That's like a quest.
Yeah.
Now disembark.
And I'm like,
And I'm
Katie!
picking her up in my vehicle.
I'm like, stop, man. Oh my God, stop it, dude.
are these guys bothering you?
Yeah.
Do I need to, rough them up a bit?
So that one's my honorable mention because I did tear up in the theater watching that one. I was like, it's my sister. And we were also the only ones in the theater watching it because it was right when COVID started. So good times. But that's not the one I'm choosing. That's my honorable mention. The one I'm choosing is Inside Out. Riley reconciling with her family. Stop
Yeah.
it!
Good gosh, man. Good
Stop it!
gosh.
I will
Good
sob
gosh.
every
I know
time.
You don't want me to, but I miss home. Like that, the way that line is delivered.
I know it's backwards, but this says Minnesota on it. So she really wants to go back to Minnesota, and watching Joy also see it and be like, you know what, sadness, take over. And she lets it take over, and the reassurance that the sadness brings when Riley smiles when she's being hugged by her family. Bro, it
And
hurts,
just
it
that
hits.
burden being lifted off.
Yes, she
Yes.
ran away. She got on a bus. Her family's been worried sick about her. And then, they're not mad or angry. They just want to understand what's going on. You've been acting different. You've been lashing out. And
You've been
now
wearing all black.
and now they finally get this answer that they've been looking for as concerned parents. And now being a parent myself to two little boys, I like understand the need to understand them. And I give them every opportunity to be like, tell me what you think. Am I being fair? Am I doing this and that? How can I be better to you? Because I know you have feelings as well. So, from a parent standpoint, it also, and then from a child standpoint, I was once a misunderstood child, so I get it. I get both sides now. So it just knife to the heart. So that's my last pick.
Oof.
All right, Kate.
And to add on to that, really, the delivery of the voice actors,
Yes. Perfect.
oof, it's so good. All right, my last pick. I was gonna pick Inside Out.
Was it for the Bing Bong or the reconciliation?
Woo.
Oh, what the heck? Bing
Take your
bong.
pick.
Oh, no.
The Bing Bong.
It was between Inside Out and Toy Story 4 for me. So,
Yeah.
I thought one of you guys might. I wanted to give it to you guys.
The Bing Bong. The
Take her to the moon for me.
I did cry at that part too.
I will, Bing Bong. I promise. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one, you kind of you have to dig a little bit, but not really. It's Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
But for a
Dang.
few things, it didn't up where the 5 minutes the mom died.
Yes.
And
Coral.
Brian. Wesley and I just watched that movie a few weeks ago, and just them being so excited to have parents. Their little babies are right there, and
Aw, man.
in the blink of an eye, their dreams were shattered. Especially Coral's, because she died.
No,
So-
especially Marlin's. I mean, he just lost his wife and his entire family.
Yeah. So, and he looks into the darkness, and there's nothing except for this one tiny little egg that's a little broken. And he's like, I'm going to give you all the love in the world. So that it's like, okay. But then,
And he names
Fast
it
forward-
Nemo, the name
What?
that Coral wanted.
yeah. So fast forward to a scene that's not, to me, it's not as memorable as all the others. It's definitely not colorful. It is meant to be a sad scene where Marlin and Dory think that Nemo is dead, and Marlin is planning on just going home, shattered, nothing more to really work for or live for or anything. And Dory is like, wait, where are you going? It's over, Dory. I'm going home. And Dory yells out, stop! Please don't go away. No one has ever stuck with me this long, and I can remember things. And she is desperate for someone to be there for her. She's literally got no one else, and she is on the other side of the country, all alone. She doesn't know where she is. She has no way to get back, and she's like, with you, I remember. And Marlin just says, I don't want to remember.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, it hurts.
Ooh.
And or she's like, I don't want to forget, and Marlin says, I do.
Yeah.
And she's just left there all alone, and it's just that loneliness and confusion,
Despair.
yeah, and fear, all of those things.
It's not that. It's like the complete, like, this is the end and it's over. Like acceptance that it's
Well,
done.
it's not even acceptance. It's just like,
Defeat.
yeah. And I mean, that is just so heavy
Yeah.
to contemplate and to feel, where there's nothing you can do. And I think it's tragic. So I always get choked up at that point.
Yeah.
Because, not that I've been to that depths, but I've been lonely. I've been all of those things at different points.
Yeah.
And it's real.
Even
it's
as
a real
a
thing.
even as a little girl, I felt that, like, that movie came out 2003,
Yeah.
and I remember feeling the pain in that moment, and I was 6. I felt a lot at 6, man. Let me tell you.
Jeez.
So,
So
That's a
I'm gonna
good
say
one.
Finding Nemo.
all right, Brian, what's your last one?
Oh man, so difficult, so difficult. I mean, I'm looking at all of them. Toy Story, Bugs Life, Toy Story 2. There's a bunch there. Incredibles, Cars, not really.
I completely
Um,
forgot the one
Cars
of the
2.
scenes in Toy Story 2.
When
Yeah, that I
somebody
was thinking about
loves
that one.
me,
Yep,
I
exactly.
so
Monsters University,
forgot.
not really.
No.
Good Dinosaur, there's one part. Finding Dory, Cars 3, definitely not. Incredibles 2, absolutely not. We did Soul, Luca, Turning Red, absolutely not. Lightyear, Elemental, Inside Out 2.
Elemental had a little bit of a moment.
no, not for me.
Had a
So,
little bit of a moment.
No.
So there's one I didn't mention though, and I feel that it's going to be different from everybody else's because I feel that this emotional, poignant moment is about hope. And it's done so it's not a tearjerker. You're not going to start tearing up, but it makes you feel all the warm fuzzies inside. And
That
it's
make you
Wally.
cry.
I knew it.
It's
I
Wally.
knew it.
Why? What was that? Why you gotta be like that?
Oh.
What?
Why you gotta
What
be
part?
like-
Because
What part?
no, when they're having their dance out in space,
Gosh darn it!
it's beautiful.
Okay, yeah, that's right. No, it's I mean, that's the thing. There's such an elegance to it. There's such a romance to it. It's almost
Yeah.
like Fred Astaire and Ginger dancing, and it's there's all this stuff going on. It's literally the fate of existence is in the balance, but they had these two characters who couldn't be more different come together for just this one brief moment of
the music.
almost
Or-
like pure love in this dance,
They use the music
But there's
so
another part
beautifully.
too. But there's another part too, and I think it's what. And at first, if you don't realize it when you see it, because the first time I watched Wally, this part passed over my head. After so many times of watching it too, it passed over. But I think there's another truly amazing, poignant moment in the film, and it's actually during the credits, during the end credits, when all this time has passed, thousands of years have maybe passed, and during the credits, when you find out that that little shoe that was holding a leaf ended up growing into this giant, beautiful tree, and then you see this mural of Wally and Eve walking hand in hand past the tree, and that's like, oh my god!
Ugh.
Not
Don't-
only is that just
Don't
an
make it start
amazing,
again, man.
that's such an amazing science fiction concept, but it's just like the love that would never last, that would never die, that's always going to be there and keep
Between-
growing, just like that little plant resembles, it's like a metaphor for their eternal love.
That's what Hunter and I did for our wedding. We have a sequoia that we brought to our wedding as a sapling. It's just a tiny little thing, and the goal is to plant it in about 4 years or so and let this giant redwood grow, even though like we're long and gone, but that the love will still continue. It's so cheesy, but it's so good.
And we'll
What?
bury you underneath it or scatter
Yeah,
your
exactly.
ashes.
and then the ice pick guys from Frozen come in and they start chopping it down.
Oh my gosh.
While they're singing their song. They're chopping my sequoia.
Oh my gosh. No, one other thing to add to that, for Wally, whenever they play that song from, oh my gosh. No.
The Easter parade, or
You're
the
close. What's the
musical.
name of that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of that song right now, but
yeah.
there are moments. Oh, when she is trying to get Wally to wake up, and she
Yeah.
plays that song, and it's like
Yeah, it is. It's like
he's been
Come
listening
on,
to that
Wally.
song for hundreds of years, and now it has meaning.
yeah. It is another tear.
Ugh.
See, And I'm so glad this became our chunk because we've been dogging on Pixar for so long, but truly, I want them to remember why we're dogging on them all this time is because they have made such magical moments. More magical, honestly, than any Disney movie that I've watched. I mean, Tangled's right up there, but Pixar has more of them. More magical.
Lion King, you know, can't beat
Honest.
Mufasa. I mean, that's the one.
No! It's kind of memeified for me now. But
I mean, that's rough.
Yes. But I want them to know, like they're watching right now, that at least we have those memorable moments with them. They do mean a lot to us. I mean, for goodness sake, Katie's entire music room is decked out in Pixar posters so that they mean so much and that they need to go back to this formula, however it was, whatever the story is, but bring back the life, bring back the emotions of these movies to give life back into them, to give them meaning again, to bring the feelings of, you know.
Well, I think also that for the history of Pixar, their track history, one thing that they excel in is always thinking outside the box and doing something that's different from the rest of the norm. But at the end of the day, though, they have all the heart. They have all the feels that never changes. No matter what, if they're telling a story about fish or toys or monsters in a closet, no matter if they're talking about inanimate objects or abstract things, they always still come down to human emotion and great storytelling. And so they have that. They have that in spades.
Alongside impactful music, which they have always excelled in, and they need to continue with that. Memorable themes.
So I don't know if it's like exactly like a formula A plus B equals C. I don't think they work that way. But again, they just have to continue to just work on it. I think you know, all the great studios and artists, they have periods of time where things just don't always coalesce.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Pixar will come out of this period, and I think we'll see some of their best work. We can hope.
Time will tell, and then we'll see when Elio pops up. But for now, that will end this episode of Bump That. So
This emotional episode.
so emotional. We're all crying, sobbing, telling the stories. Oh, let us know down in the comments if you cried alongside with us. Did you agree with any of our choices? And what other choices would you have picked as your top 3? Let us know down below. But anyways, we've got Brian in this corner.
The genius at Gusteau's is the finest chef in all Paris.
We've got KT down below. Ow.
What is that line? I can't think of it. It's from Cars. I'm more happy than a something out of something. Whatever. I'm KT.
Thanks for that one. And I'm Miliana, your host.
You
signing
blew it!
I know.
Signing off on yet another episode of Bump That. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys in next week's episode. Hopefully no tears will be shed. Bye-bye!